Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. I spent all this morning working out in the front garden, adding some beautiful Senorita Rosalita Cleome to the orchard garden, and it's looking fabulous. I've got all my plants watered, everything's all set, and I just had the urge to stay out in the garden today. Even though it's getting a little warm, it's about 82 degrees right now. So I decided to come work this afternoon in my shade garden, my secret garden, which is on the north side of my house. And you can see it's about 2 o'clock right now. You can see over here on this side, it gets full shade pretty much year round. But during the summer, over here on this side, I actually get quite a bit of sun. And it's honestly a little frustrating because I'm having a hard time figuring it out. It's one of those sun transition areas that during the winter time it's full shade, during the summertime it's bright, hot, intense, full sun, and I'm just having a tough time planting this area up. But I am not going to worry about this area right now. I'm going to worry about this area, which is a lot easier. And last year, Jason and we did this whole makeover, a week-long makeover for the secret garden. It was really, really fun. I took 5 days and did 5 separate things over here, and I just love this area now. It's absolutely fantastic. And one of my favorite things is we added these window boxes right here along with these shutters. And so I planted some stuff in fall in the shade window boxes, and they're looking good. They're looking really pretty. The lamium is blooming. However, in the secret garden, I really wanted to stick with a white, green, and silvery theme. And the only lamium that I was able to get my hands on in the fall was the purple blooming lamium. Here you can see a little closer look. So I have the main thing I have in here. Well, the main thing that's growing in here right now is the lamium, and you can see it's the purple blooming lamium. It's gorgeous. It's in full bloom. It's actually it's looking really great. But again, I'm trying to keep the color palette in this garden to white and green and silvery and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to take this lamium out, and I actually think I'm going to transplant it to underneath my orange trees. I don't know if you can see, but it's like full shade over there. So I think that'll be a really good place for the lamium. I do have these western sword ferns right here that are growing. I am going to have to divide these if I want to keep them in here. And I do really, really like them in here, but they're going to grow huge. Like, look at all this new growth on this one. So I think probably in the fall I will divide those. And then I also have this white cyclamen that I'm going to just take out today and get rid of, which is no big deal, but it is looking really good. But I have some other really fun stuff that I think are going to look even better in this area. This color palette is just so, I don't know, it just looks so good. Once I put it all together, I was really excited about it. So first of all, I have these hippo white polka dot plants, which I just think are so pretty. I have planted the hippo rose at my last house, actually in a shady window box, and they were really, really beautiful. I actually had to order these online, so they just got here like just an hour ago, and I just unboxed them. So they're not looking 100%, but I watered them, and I think that they'll bounce back no problem. So I think that will look really gorgeous. And then another foliage plant, I actually have 3 foliage plants here. This one is called Space Age Black Hole. It's one of the begonia Rex, the Rex begonias from Proven Winners. They came out with a whole series, the Space Age series, and they're really, really pretty. I'm really excited. I'm glad I finally got my hands on them because I didn't get my hands on them last year. I think this one is gorgeous because the darkness in the center mimics the darkness of the Medusa Black or sweet potato vine. And I just think that combination is just so gorgeous. So I still have the silvery foliage here and then the silvery foliage here. It'll be so pretty. And then for my blooms, I have these Surefire white begonias, which is a repetition. It's continuous with what I have over here in these garden beds over here. And so you can see I actually planted these last year, these Surefire white begonias. And the reason why I love these so much right here, and I'm probably going to leave them and even add some more right here, is the Surefire series of begonias can handle full sun and it can handle full shade. So these plants were totally fine when it had full shade earlier on in the season when the sun was low and it was below the house. And then as you can see, the sun has gotten higher as the season goes on. Now they're getting slammed with sun, like so much, like full sun, and they're still handling it no problem. Whereas some other things, I don't know if they're going to be able to handle it here, like these calla lilies over here or the foxgloves. I don't know if these guys are going to be able to handle it. I also have some Brunnera in here that I don't think is going to be able to handle it either. I actually meant to transplant these, but these two obviously got left on accident. But anyway, this is just, like I said, it's what you call a sun transition area. And it's just a really, really tough area to plant up. And if you have plants like the Surefire White Begonia or Surefire Rose Begonia, it just makes life so much easier. Another really good plant for a sun transition area is the Sprinter Boxwoods, which are the ones that I have planted on either side of my pathway right here. So even though this guy is going to be almost full shade, right, it gets a little bit of morning sun, and over here on this side, this side gets a little bit of afternoon sun, it's going to be able to handle it no problem, just like over here, this side that's going to start getting full sun as the season goes on and as we get closer to the summer solstice. So anyway, that's my combination that I have in these planters today. I think it is going to be very, very pretty, and it's kind of nice. I'm in the shade. I'm in, you know, it's nice and cool over here, even though it's getting a little warm outside. In these pots right here, I have my limelight hydrangeas, and I purposely planted them in the pots because hydrangeas are susceptible to jugalone, which is the chemical that black walnuts secrete. And my neighbors have a black walnut there and another black walnut over there. So there's no way I could plant hydrangeas in the ground over here, even though I would like to. So that's why they're in the pots here, and I think that they'll be fine right there. I have these coral bark maples that are just looking beautiful, and then behind that I have this false hydrangea vine that is growing up the house and just looking gorgeous, really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take out these lamium, transplant them over to under the orange trees, and then start planting all the other stuff. That is hilarious. This lamium was so rooted in, it took out all the soil. It took it all. Let me show you. It was completely rooted in. So I guess I'll replenish the soil, even though I just added new soil last fall. Guess it needs more. I need to go get a bag of soil. Okay, so all done. I am so happy with how these turned out. I think they look so pretty. I did take a hose to this whole area to get some of the cobwebs off and the dirt and dust off. So it's a little wet, but you can see how pretty it's gonna look once it fills in. And you probably saw I couldn't help myself. I had to add in one more plant because I just thought it would be so pretty to have some dichondra silver falls on either side of the Medusa black. So the Medusa black hanging in the middle and then the dichondra silver falls on either side. Oh, I just think it's gonna be so pretty. It's just such an interesting combination. Perfect for shade, really foliage heavy, which I don't do often. I often do really bloom heavy. I try and do as many blooms as possible. And this is definitely foliage heavy. So I will be super interested to see how it looks when it fills in, and I will keep you guys updated. Now I have this whole wagon filled with lamium, like very extremely rooted. Look at this. Look at this. That whole window box got filled up with the lamium roots. That's crazy. And then I remembered I do have some hostas in here, and I don't know where they went, but they're somewhere in all this soil. So anyway, I was thinking about planting them over here underneath the orange tree, but gosh, is there a better place for them? Like maybe over by the chicken coop, maybe? No, I think I'm gonna go right here. If you guys can tell where I am, this is where I was just planting earlier this morning. The Cleome looks beautiful. And then over here, I have my Ladybird Sunglow Oenthera and my Raspberry Superbena and my Plains Blue Salvia. These guys all look great, but these guys, you can see, are filling up the sun areas. And then I have this whole area of shade. And if you look way back there, you can see my calla lilies that are doing amazing, looking beautiful. But I do have this little spot right here, and I think it'll be really pretty to have the lamium kind of all around back there. So I think I'm just gonna plant it right there. All right, so there's the lamium. I think they look so pretty right there, just tucked in behind all the other colors that are over here. Doing things like this just makes me realize how mature gardens get the way they get, because it's just year after year, you're just moving things around, transplanting, saving this, saving that, and it just all of a sudden your garden just starts filling in, and it's really exciting. So I hope this lamium takes in this area because I think it'll be really, really pretty. And then I did manage to find one of my hostas that I had planted in those window boxes. I cannot for the life of me find the second one. It's got to be somewhere in there. It's got to be somewhere in that bucket and a whole bunch of soil, but I cannot find it. But at least I have one here, and hopefully this will work. And I don't think I'm going to hook any of this up to drip. I don't know. I might be wrong about that, but this area stays pretty moist. So I think if I just water it in every once in a while, I think that might be enough for the lamium. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But at least I didn't toss it. At least I got it planted in the orchard garden. And I think it'll be really pretty once it all grows in. So anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I had quite a big day out in the garden. I got a lot of things planted over in the secret garden, and everything's watered. And now I can go inside. The girls are going to get home from school. All around a wonderful day. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.